The power level of the Marvel Cinematic Universe seems to make a massive leap with each new release, and the Thunderbolts is no exception. With the introduction of Sentry, we're seeing a new level of power, the likes of which we've not seen since Thanos himself. In today's video, I want to do a deep dive into what a current Avengers roster might be and how they might fare against the powerful Sentry. So let's pick our Avengers team.
But first, today's video is sponsored by Fume. Fume is an award-winning flavored air device second only to your own lungs. Fume is a premium product that is not a vape and contains no nicotine or vapor. And because it doesn't use any batteries, it's always ready whenever you are. It allows you to draw flavored air in for a refreshing change of pace to your normal air. Fume is a great alternative tool that helps you form better habits in your day-to-day life, and frankly, it's part of a new movement aimed at towards bettering ourselves, and flavored air is shown to be twice as effective at helping people stop bad habits. I myself have recently cut my day-to-day vices, including vaping, and this has been a great alternative for me. It comes in a wide variety of flavor cores made with natural plants which have passed rigorous toxicology studies, so you know they aren't harming you, and they are backed by doctors in the US. My personal favorite flavor core is orange vanilla. We all have habits we want to quit, like my wife, who leaves her shoes in front of the door to the literal shoe closet. And frankly, I don't know if Fume can help that, but it has helped thousands of people with their bad habits already. So if you're ready to kick your bad habits, go to tryfume.com/keyissues or scan the QR code and use key issues to get your free Fume topper when you order your journey pack today. Thanks again to Fume. Now let's get back to the video.
Okay, so let's pick our Avengers team. I think some obvious choices are Thor, Hulk, and Captain Marvel. Doctor Strange is also a pretty safe bet. While he wasn't Avengering before Infinity War, he considers himself an Avenger during the events of Multiverse of Madness when he tries to convince Wanda to help him. I think Captain America, Photon, Shang-Chi, Vision, and Ant-Man are all safe bets as well. And you know what? For fun, let's just throw in the Scarlet Witch. Why not? To start with the stats of the heavy hitters, Captain Marvel represents the peak of power for the Avengers, not only doing the best of any Avenger versus Thanos in a battle of physical prowess at least, but also having the single best feat, the reignition of Hala's sun, a feat she considered to be impossible to her prior to the Marvels, requiring 1.6 exatons to do. Monica Rambeau would also scale to this level through her battles with Ben. The second tier of heroes would be the likes of Thor, Hulk, Vision, Shang-Chi, Captain America, with Cap being below them. Despite his vibranium wings, he probably still could not match any of his fellow Avengers in terms of consistent raw strength. The highest you could claim any of these characters to be would be planetary. That's if you go with the argument that Zeus is beyond the likes of Ra from the Egyptian pantheon, who is the literal god of the sun, as well as the Celestials who create heavenly bodies. You know, if we include those characters and we want to say that Thor is above those because he's above Zeus, then they would be at minimum large star level. Again, I don't think this is a super accurate way to scale the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it's a bit disingenuous, but I digress. Let's go with the planetary scaling for now, because they're going to need it. As for Strange and Wanda, here is where the majority of their versatility comes from. The ability to manipulate matter, cast powerful spells, or trap their enemy in another dimension. These two will be key to win this battle. So now, let's talk about Sentry. In the movie, Sentry is propped up as a figure who is basically a walking team of Avengers, the power of 1,000 exploding stars. Is that statement a bit hyperbolic and likely not super accurate based on Valentina's personality? Yeah, I would think so, but we do have many out-of-universe statements that Sentry is stronger than all of the Avengers combined, so that should answer the question then, right? Well, let's first take a look at who are actually on the Avengers. Not the Avengers team we just picked, but who Valentina thinks is on the Avengers when she made that statement. So would Valentina know every single hero at the battle against Thanos? Probably not, even if that battle has been recorded into the historical record. You gotta think that all the randoms that were there were considered Avengers for the briefest of moments, but I'm more interested in who was actually considered to be an official Avenger. Like, they would carry a membership card, you know what I'm saying? While we never got any official team from any movie after Endgame, we do know that they were still considered a team by the public and still operated as somewhat of a cohesive unit, or at least the heroes that would be considered Avengers would assist each other should the need arise. In Shang-Chi, we saw Carol and Bruce working together, and in Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange tells Wanda that he could get her back on the Avengers' lunchboxes. So Wanda was not considered an Avenger at that point, but Strange was. So Sentry being stronger than Wanda, no, I'm not going to give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. I would say that Sentry would be above the combined might of Carol, Hulk, Thor, War Machine, Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, Captain America, Spider-Man, Black Panther, Wasp, and Valkyrie, who I think would be the public's perception of what the Avengers were. But, as I mentioned before, this is not the team that we'd put up against the Sentry, just the team that I think he is likely being referred to as quote-unquote stronger than. So not only does Sentry have the raw power to battle the Avengers, but I think he also has the speed. As we have discussed many times, all the Avengers are basically equal speed with some slight exceptions. This is all thanks to Endgame, where basically every character in the universe was involved in the final battle. All of these characters were active in that conflict and could all perceive what was going on, from the randoms to Captain America to Thor to Captain Marvel. All of these characters were relative in combat speed, including the likes of Hawkeye, who would be relative to Black Widow, who could keep up with Black Panther, and Captain America, who literally fought Thanos, and that was before he had Mjolnir. You know who else has the same exact combat speed as Black Widow and Captain America? Yelena, Bucky, and US Agent. All three who were completely speed blitzed by the Sentry. Sentry was moving so fast in their fight, it was like he was teleporting. His top speed movements couldn't even be perceived by the Thunderbolts at all. In a fight with the Avengers, it would simply just be the same. He'd be zipping around the battlefield, one-tapping any single member at will. And that's not even considering the Void. If it ever got so close that the Void was needed, he could blink any of the Avengers out of existence. I'd like to think that both Strange and Wanda could probably escape using the sling ring, or in Wanda's case, just ripping out of the pocket dimension entirely, but the speed gap is always going to be the issue. While Strange and Wanda both have incredibly potent spells, I don't think that either would be fast enough to pull any of them off in a battle with the Sentry. Unfortunately, they're both getting obliterated in an attosecond. But if we're talking about an equal speed scenario, Wanda is kind of the ultimate cheat code. Even while weakened, the Scarlet Witch could warp reality like it was nothing, and even siphon the incredible power from Captain Marvel. Not to mention that if the Void did take over and turned Wanda into a nuclear shadow, not only do I think she could escape, but I think she would be able to break the minds of both Bob and the Void. I mean, did you see what she did to Professor X? In an equal speed battle, the rest of the team we chose is still losing badly. Thor, Hulk, Captain Marvel, Photon, Shang-Chi, Cap, etc. They're all getting folded. But Strange and Wanda both have the magical abilities to stand toe-to-toe with the Sentry and come out on top. That is, if they don't get instantly targeted, but even then, I think they could probably react in time and come up with a plan, especially Wanda, who could just literally turn him into a copy of Donald Duck going quackers for the Sega Dreamcast. You know, she could literally do whatever she wants. But that's what I think. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments. Do you think the Sentry would beat the Avengers, or do you think they could put up a better chance? What do you think about the speed? Do you think the speed difference is absolutely insane, or is it closer than I'm making it out to be? Let me know down in the comments. I want to know what you have to think. Also, be sure to like and subscribe. It does really help us out. And thank you once again to the sponsor of this video, Fume.